When a few of us had heard the end title song for our movie Hazel, we realized we had a beautiful masterpiece on our hands. So a few months after we wrapped primary filming for the movie Hazel, we brought Franni Ray Cash Kane and Will Vandercrommert back to Bismarck to film a music video. I had the pleasure to sit down with Franni and Will during a break in the filming, and they shared with me the creation of this beautiful song. Here's my discussion with these amazingly gifted musicians and just plain beautiful people to get to know. You two behave.
Yeah, sorry.
We're having fun here today.
We're having
We
a good time.
really are.
This is amazing. So introduce yourselves, would you please?
My name.
Full on.
The full on. My name's Will Vandercrommert, and they wanted me to say that my name is William Marcus Vandercrommert, and I'm the composer for Hazel and one of the co-writers for Next to You, the single that we're doing the music video for today.
Yes. And I am Franni Ray Cash Kane. I guess we both have very long names. But yeah, I got to write the song with Will, and it was so fun to watch it come to life.
So you came down to this studio a few months, 6 months ago, something, whenever
Yeah.
it was, when
Yeah.
you were here. You were Mrs. Francis,
Yeah.
Miss Francis, our school teacher in our movie Hazel.
Yeah.
And tell me what happened. You two met up there on the set and said, why don't we just go make an absolutely breathtaking, magnificent song together? How did this happen?
Well, so I met Franni on, like you said, on set, and she's just this warm, delightful human being. So she gives me this big old hug, and she's dressed in her period garb, looking very prim and proper, and she's ready to teach all the school children. But she shows up, and I find out that not only is she warm, she's just super down to earth and wicked talented. And so I'd come with a couple of different sketches that I'd kind of worked up.
Preliminary song.
Yeah, some melodic ideas and stuff like that. And we just kind of sat down and started going through it. And actually, you were obviously invaluable in this process because you were in the middle of telling the story. So you were sort of dead set heart in it at that time. And I'd read the script, but I think at that point,
Filming here in Bismarck.
Right. So
Yeah.
Franni had character insights that I didn't have because she was watching the adaptation play out on set.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, that part of the partnership for me was invaluable. Yeah, so I'll hand it off to you. So we showed up here at DNN and we started making noise.
Yeah, we were literally talking about this last night. We went back to the pizza spot where we went for lunch the day that we wrote the song, and a couple days after we'd met. Well, fast forward even a few months before Hazel, we had FaceTimed to be like, hey, Dan was like, what about if I connect you guys and just see if there's anything here to see about writing the end credit song? And so we FaceTimed and it was
You were in your
super
car.
easy.
You'd just gotten out of a meeting.
Super chill.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I feel like that was the whole thing. Like it felt like just so comfortable, right off the bat. So and obviously Will puts people right at ease. Dan had prepared us so well for like the vision and the heart of Hazel, and then getting to be on set, and so getting to like have a little bit of a taste as to what that real experience might have felt like. I think it did help prepare the song in some ways. Yeah, but also Dan he's just had the heart and the vision so well articulated right off the bat. And the script is so emotional too. I don't know about you, but I cried multiple times reading the script. Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
So you came together down here, and how far along was the song? Was there lyrics at that point? Was there, you said a little bit of melody, you had kind of got some of the flow going, but then you heard it and you came together on the lyrics here?
I think what happened, and then I'll hand it to you, but when we FaceTimed, we were like, oh, let's see about maybe tapping into some like Lord of the Rings soundtrack, kind of like ethereal vibes, and also like My Heart Will Go On, because there's similar, there's like tragedy element to to Titanic story, obviously, that has similar themes with Hazel. So, but when I showed up, I think maybe on FaceTime, Will had suggested or something like we should have the melody of the song be the same as the main theme. So and he's doing the whole score for everything. So he has tapped into the music. But we kind of like at the same time we're like, it should be just a cappella at the beginning. Yeah. And we were like, wait, why are we both thinking this? Like we were so in sync about that. But then when I showed up, like
Which knocks you out.
Yeah.
I heard the first
Thanks.
10 seconds of this song. I was floored.
She done did good.
I thought you meant knocked you out, and the fact that we like thought the same thing, like that was just like really cool. But when I showed up to write the song, and Will was here already set up, I mean, he had like magically created the melody and the chords, and they're so rich and beautiful. And he's just like, what do you think about this? And I was like, that is like the most dynamic, like emotional, like almost like Celtic at times, like sort of melody and chords. It was just like, it just was so transcendent. It was beautiful.
But you guys have very different, and now maybe this is just, I have no proof of this, but you got cash in your name.
Mm-hmm.
You live in Nashville. I gotta think country to some degree, okay? And what I know of you is your orchestral and your soundtrack back. I mean, I'm not a music guy, but to me that sounds like two very different worlds
Yeah.
coming together, and they could have collided ugly, but they seem to merge beautifully. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it, Brock. If you give me that simple of a compliment, I'm gonna just take it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it meshed really well.
Because you have a gospel country background, right? And this is not your first canticle production. You've done other soundtracks with Dan. Maybe tell me a little how you got hooked up with Dan.
Yeah, so several years ago, Dan was doing a stage production here in Bismarck, and I had met a film director and writer in Minneapolis at a Minnesota Film Board meeting. And he says, there's this guy out in Bismarck.
Because you live in Minneapolis.
I'm in Minneapolis, and he said, "There's this guy Dan out in Bismarck, and you should just talk with him."
Okay.
And so that turned into me writing a little bit of music for a stage production that Dan was doing here in Bismarck, and then they came up with this featurette. I call it a featurette because it was like a 45-minute feature, and it was beautiful period drama, and so I ended up scoring that. Then we did a Western. Then we did a Western thriller, and now we're doing HAZEL. And so it's been this relationship that has developed. And actually, what's really fun about that is the same thing that was fun with our collaboration. When you trust your collaborators, it's easy because you just let them run with it. So to your point, it doesn't matter if musically you come from different backgrounds because I know if I put the ball in Franni's court, she's going to run with it.
Okay.
So it really. I think that there's enough commonality in terms of the emotional language and focus that we were trying to harness, where it wasn't so important that we had really different musical backgrounds because we were telling the same story. And that's the end goal in film and for score work.
Okay.
Totally. That's really well said.
Okay. You've done scores and movie songs before with Dan and other people. Have you?
Okay, so no, not really.
Okay.
But when I was a kid, I remember I was 12 years old. I saw Curious George with my brothers, and I saw the Jack Johnson soundtrack.
Okay.
And I just kind of fell in love with the idea of like an artist that I loved doing music for a movie that at the time I loved, and I still do. Let's be real. Curious George.
So you came to Dan as an actress.
No, not actually.
This part? Tell us
No.
how you connected with Dan and this.
Yeah, it's kind of random, but it's cool. So like 2 years ago, I was in a band, I was touring a lot, and this other completely separate production company reached out to me to see if I wanted to act just because they liked my music. And I had never acted before. I didn't tell anybody that I did deep down really want to because no one in my world did anything in film. And so I didn't want to get shot down and just be kind of told like, oh, you're just the singer, like stay in your lane. I didn't want to be told that. So
You're just a singer of this really successful band. Like, what could you possibly
Oh my gosh. No, I was just like, I don't know if people would be open to me trying this. I was like, just kind of set that aside. Anyway, this company reaches out, asked if I wanted to be in the movie. Through that process, I got to be on set with them. We did a trailer for that movie, and then I got connected to an agent, and then my agent connected me with Hazel and with Dan. Yeah, and so I was living in California on a sabbatical, like back after, right after
Taking a
LMM.
break from your musical career.
Yes, just kind of taking 2 months off, just like kind of seeing what was next. Now I'm working on my own music as a solo artist, which is so fun.
Okay.
But at that time, I was kind of just still figuring out what was next. And I had just done one other movie, and it was a Christmas musical, and that was really fun. But my role wasn't as, I guess, intensive as this movie. And then I auditioned for Hazel and just like fell in love with Dan and the story. And I literally was on the airplane reading Hazel and was like having to like shield my face from the flight attendant because I was on a window seat, and I was literally having to like turn into the window because I was crying so hard. Like it just spoke to me. So I'm really glad I got to do
But
this.
again, you came to Dan as an actress.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
or maybe he knew a little that you had some music somewhere, maybe in the interview process.
Yes.
But you came as an actress, and she does a beautiful job in Hazel, by the way. But we're going to talk about that too. But then this collaboration happened here. So you came down. Let's get back. You came down to the studio. I know we got to keep moving because I can feel the smoke level, right? The haze level, which means the snow in your scene is getting ready in there. But you two came down here, locked down for. I get the story like an afternoon kind of.
Yeah.
It's part of the day.
And,
Yeah.
and you just locked down here and kicked ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that kind of
It came pretty easily.
We were talking about how actually we were talking about this last night when we went out for some food, and I think the best collaborations are kind of rare, and when they happen, it happens really fast.
Yeah.
I think songwriting, even more so as opposed to doing like score work, is that way. Like I don't know what it's like for you, but it's like the best songs like kind of just fall out of the hat in about 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we actually, it was an easy collaboration, but we did labor over the lyrics, and I think I was really glad to have a partner in crime on this part. The chorus was hard.
Yeah.
And for me, it was not just getting the lyrics to kind of tumble out that was the challenging bit. This is a true story. Hazel Miner is a real person.
tell you, I shared part of the song with a relative of the family, and I thought I was going to have to hold him.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was an amazing get with him. I'm getting chills
Me too.
from the moment I said he was helping. We're tearing down our sets up at our studio, and he was helping. I said, "Have you heard this song?" Oh, and he's the nephew that brought the story originally to Dan, and I played it on my phone. I didn't have real good sound, and he had the same look I'm sure I did on my face.
Goodness
When I heard it. It
gracious.
just was jaw dropping. But you honor that family like the movie does, beyond what words can say.
Oh, that means an awful lot, because that was a point of uncertainty and maybe even some fearfulness for me, because when you write a song, you can be a little bit laissez-faire with it sometimes. Maybe it's about you, maybe it's not. Maybe you're kind of making the story up. This was very concrete and fixed in reality.
Yeah.
In that regard. And so I certainly felt some responsibility. And again, I'm just happy I had a partner in crime for this creative process, because it's a lot of responsibility, because getting it wrong is not an option. The stakes were too high.
Yeah.
That's really fair. I remember like everything came pretty easily except for that one line in the chorus. We could not land it. Okay, so the chorus starts.
I give it all.
I give it all. There's nothing I won't do.
Take my
Take my
body,
body, take my hands too.
take my hands too.
That was the lyric.
That was the one.
We could not land it because we needed it to rhyme, like be an ooh rhyme, and we could not land it.
Yeah.
So that was the one that was so hard. And then you threw it out. You're taking my body, take my hard take, and you were like, my hands too. And I was like, thank you, Jesus.
So For the most part, it was effortless, but
Yeah.
you do have to work for that last 10%
Yeah.
of every song.
And for those of you that haven't seen the movie yet, it is about a sibling that keeps her siblings next to her and by embracing them in love. And how this captured that was amazing. Yeah, it captured that absolutely completely.
Thank you.
Yeah. I know you got to get on set, so we're going to cut this off. I'm going to tell everybody that sees this, get a good stereo somewhere in your house, sit on the couch, listen to it with the one you love, and then stand up and hold her or him, embrace them, get next to them, play this song, and it will be one of the highlights of your love life to share this song with someone you love. It is amazing. Watch it. It's going to be available everywhere. And then see the movie Hazel. It'll all come together and make sense. And it is just what they've done is a treasure to enjoy. Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
your time.
Brock. Thank you.
Thank you, Brock. You're so kind.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank
Would
you.
you represent me? That was it. That
was